Hello, and thank you for watching An American Crucible. We are the filmmakers Liam Farrell, Jack Magee, and Richard Racanelli. This project was made in fulfillment of the International Baccalaureate Program's CAS project. With this film, we sought to express the ideas and themes that are often present in the persecution and suppression of ideas, and how this situation with Arthur Miller and his play The Crucible related to the Salem witch trials that is made evident in the film and to issues that are present in modern society.
Liam has mentioned the Salem witch trials, which is a great example of persecution, which is one of the main themes in our film and that we were trying to portray to our audience. But a more modern example would be McCarthyism, when people were persecuted for their political beliefs. And the idea and message that we want to get through our film is that everybody has the right to express any First Amendment rights, such as religion, and also be not afraid to express their gender, race, or class.
Now, the movie you're about to see incorporates Arthur Miller and his trials during the age of McCarthyism and his struggle to maintain himself as an individual against a society that has been putting pressure on him to change his beliefs and make his story, The Crucible, different than what it actually is. We hope that you enjoy the film and can take away the messages that we believe need to be heard. Enjoy.
Arthur,
I don't need to hear this nonsense from you right now. I just got enough of it in there.
how are you being so nonchalant about all this? Do you have any idea what all this means?
What, Bill? Being held in contempt of Congress? Yeah, actually. I think I got a pretty good idea of what that may mean.
For the love of God, Arthur, it's no time to be a smartass.
I think you're overreacting, Bill. This isn't what they're making it out to be in there. You know what they are. What they do. They're just a bunch of power-hungry fat cat.
It's just the talk that got you here in the first place, Arthur. You never learn, do you?
Bill, enough of that. I need you here because you're my friend, and I trust you with my life. That being said, you can either listen to what I have to say or you can get the hell out.
Okay, let's talk it out, take it slow. There's no reason for us to beat each other's throats.
You're right. What do you have in mind?
I'm the one who should be asking that question, not the other way around.
Bill, I need you to believe me. Just to hear me out. Even if it's just for right now, just for this moment. When we walk back into that courtroom, you can believe whatever you want. All I need to know is that I explain myself to someone who actually cares. Someone who actually gives a damn about me.
I'm gonna hear you out, Arthur. It's only fair.
Thank you, Bill. I believe in our country. I'm a patriot, through and through. I worked nights in a Navy Yard for years. Years, for God's sake. If that's not devotion to my country, I don't know what is.
Sounds to me like you're putting on a show, Artie. This isn't going to work, if you aren't honest. I'm not here to ruin you. I'm your friend. I don't need all this. It's Uncle Sam brouhaha.
I'm sorry, Bill. I'm not sure who to trust anymore. Maybe I'm being too cautious.
The only way I can help is if you tell me what you've been involved in. Can't hold back, Artie. I need to know.
They needed to know. The public needed to know. They needed to know what kind of sick scam McCarthy and his goons are running.
What are you talking about? The play?
Of course! The American people needed the Crucible. It's more than what everyone thinks it is. Well, I think it's more than what I think it is.
What do you mean, Arthur? What do you think it is?
To be quite honest, it's quite a few things to me. It's a piece of me, a piece of my thoughts. It's an expression of what I think. Bill, it's a method of catharsis.
Catharsis for what, Artie? For what the HUAC is doing?
Yes, you don't understand, Bill. The men I'm close to, my friends, their careers are over. These criminals have ruined them. They have families, Bill. If McCarthy can ruin them, what's he gonna do to me? I had to take a stand, damn it. I couldn't sit idly by and watch my way of life be destroyed. That's not me, you know that.
Didn't you know you were putting a target on your back? They're trying to make an example out of you. You've really done it now, Artie.
I think I knew. I just didn't care. It was my duty to tell them, to spread the information. I needed to make a statement.
Who told you it was your duty?
No one. I just felt it.
You know that's a lie, Arthur. You went to plenty of meetings, didn't you? You did. Arthur, they're gonna crucify you.
People like you breed complacency, Bill. What was I supposed to do? Sit back and watch as my colleagues, people who I call my friends, have their lives ruined? I had to do something. I couldn't let all these people down. They're good people, Bill. No matter what they say in that courtroom, no matter what is in the news or whatever you hear, these men are good men.
Are you a party member? Did you register or get inducted? Whatever the hell they do?
No, I just share some beliefs.
Artie, you're my friend. I don't want to see you get burned. I just think you could have gone about this a bit more discreetly. You understand? Getting yourself directly involved may put your whole life in jeopardy.
Of course, Bill. I see. But the Crucible was my way of expression. I felt connected with those characters. I wrote them into my life. I felt like I was there with them, prepared to be burned at the stake to stand up for what I believed in.
Looks like you've created a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
If that's what comes out of all this, then so be it.
I think the best way to think about all this would be to look at the Crucible. We need to have some kind of plan for what you could do when you go back to those buffoons in the courtroom. So, I think it would be a good idea for us to consider what you wrote in that play as some kind of guideline.
I see. Let's do it.
Great. I think this will help. What was your big idea? Your driving point?
My biggest issue, I think, is intolerance. The characters live in this contained, theocratic society, and any outside influence can be mistaken for the devil.
Sounds familiar, huh?
Exactly. It's awful. The kind of racket McCarthy's got going on in there, he's drowning in his own reputation. His body of work's grown too great for his abilities.
So you think that's why they're going after you, to show him who's boss?
Yes. He's trying to make an example out of me so no one else speaks out against his regime.
Well, it seems this might sound a little outlandish, but he's Danforth, isn't he? The character from the play?
Alright, cut. Action.
Yes. Danforth in Act 4 was obsessed with nailing Proctor to the cross. He thought he was setting an example and asserting his power, but he didn't know he was making a martyr. That was perhaps his greatest error, creating someone to symbolize all of the injustice that they've been touting.
Alright, that's a great start, Artie. I have an idea. Just a little something I picked up. You mentioned reputation a moment ago.
Reputation, I find, is a double-edged sword. It's something that can lift you up at your greatest moments or strike you down to the depths of hell at your lowest. The biggest issue with reputation is that
it could be used as a weapon.
Yes, they weaponize it, turn your own achievements against you. That's what's so twisted about all this. McCarthy throws your life under the microscope. He looks for the smallest inconsistency, the most menial instance of weakness, and broadcasts it for the world to see.
Well, with this whole blacklist thing they have running now, it's getting pretty out of hand.
They're putting good men out of jobs, Bill. Men with families, just like you and me. Oh, God. If they put me on that list, what's Marilyn gonna say? She'll leave me.
Artie, relax. You're scaring yourself. We're gonna fight this tooth and nail. I promise you'll be fine.
All this is just to strengthen their own reputations. All those shills in there, they build themselves up by pulling others down.
Maybe if we go in there and present a sound, reasonable argument, they'll let all of this go.
Are you out of your mind? They won't drop any charges now. They'll only make themselves look foolish. I could walk in there with a registry of every communist in the world, and they'd just take it and add my name to the bottom.
Arthur, that's it.
What the hell do you mean?
You confess. You give them names. Maybe they'll lessen your punishment. You remember some of those men from the party meetings, don't you?
Of course I remember those men, Bill. Those are the men who showed me what kind of corruption is running amok here in Washington. They showed me that if America continues on this same path, we're going to end up with some fascist regime in the White House one day. I've seen that happen once in my lifetime. I don't need to see it again. I don't want my children and my children's children to grow up in that kind of world.
Arthur, this may be your only way out. You can't be foolish here. Think about Marilyn. Think about your family. Think about what they'll do if they see you on the news and if you're convicted. Do you want to see them a weak man who's hated by the whole nation, or do you want to see Arthur Miller, the hero who exposed those commie bastards?
Don't you see, Bill? My reputation means absolutely nothing if I can't keep my integrity. If I bring in the list, I'm essentially placing my own head into the guillotine. I want my name to carry
Arthur,
on.
you're being
Let there
foolish.
be doubt. Let the world wonder. Maybe they were wrong about him.
You're being foolish. I can't imagine.
Who is Arthur Miller? Who is he if he can't keep his morality? I'd be nothing of a man if I can't hang on to that.
Arthur, I just don't want to see you get hurt.
Let them that never tied did now to keep their souls. Do you remember that line?
Arthur, what are you... Oh.
Cut.
Proctor, Bill. It was Proctor.
You're losing your mind, man.
This is how I hold on to what I have, Bill. I write.
This is a strange time, Arthur. And you're only making it worse.
I started writing when I was just a boy in Brooklyn. My father owned a clothing manufacturing business, so he wasn't around a lot. My mother did all she could to take care of my sisters and I. She was always stressed out because she wanted to give us the best life she possibly could. I delivered bread every day before school to help support my family. I didn't have many friends. I felt alone. I was always doing my best to help out, writing became my escape from the real world. It helped me to relax, to take a break for a while and just think about people. I've always been fascinated by people, the human condition. Writing about people and how they interact with others was so exciting. I love to imagine these scenarios in my head and think about how they would play out if they were really happening. As I got older, these situations I created became more real, more pertinent to the world around me. The Nazis rose and fell, and communism came out of the ashes. I began to think about how people would interact with their own world, their own reality, and more importantly, how the world could interact with them and change them. I had an English professor at the University of Michigan. He was a brilliant man. He knew how to connect with his students and really teach us the meaning behind the words we used. One day I was talking to him after class and he told me, every great writer writes about themselves. He believed that putting yourself into your stories would connect you to them on a deeper, more emotional level. I followed his advice, and the idea of the Crucible was born. The thought of writing about these people in the Salem witch trials and watching how these events changed their lives was exhilarating. I wanted to stick it to McCarthy, show him that people weren't just going to lay down and take the beating he was trying to give them. So, Bill, I'll tell you who Arthur Miller is. Arthur Miller is John Proctor, and John Proctor is Arthur Miller. We're one and the same. We're just men trying to do what's right. Men trying to stand up for what they believe in.
My God. I had no idea.
I've had to go to hell to meet the devil. I know the names of men at those meetings, sure, but I could not use the name of another man and bring him trouble. If I judge these men, then who will judge me? I am no saint, Bill. I've committed my sins, and I will take my punishment as they see fit, no matter how corrupt or aberrant they may be.
Man, you will hang. You'll never work again.
I want my life. I need to know that I was a moral man, a man who did not judge others to save himself.
What time is it?
About 12:30.
They need us back inside now.
All right. Let's go.